Hello, dear friends. I am Joy, and today we will be playing Roblox in the mode Escape Mr. Funny's Toy Shop.
Hello, I am Anxiety. I heard that this mode is very scary. I hope our boy Tim is not easily frightened and can handle this challenge.
And to help Tim get through this challenge, let's all support him together. To help him, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your support for Tim. It really helps him a lot.
It seems to me that I heard some laughter. Tim, go check it out. I think that sound came from the other corridor.
Yes, I also heard a very strange and frightening noise. Tim, be careful.
Whoa, what happened here? Everything is turned over and knocked down. I think this is not a very good sign.
Don't worry so much, Anxiety. Our Tim has already overcome many challenges and obstacles. I'm sure he will manage this one too.
These pipes look quite dangerous. They are small and easy to fall off. Just don't look down and it won't be so scary.
I see a lever over there. I think it needs to be pulled down to open the passage forward.
What if the lever is a trap? Tim, be careful!
It wasn't a trap after all, Disgust. Some platforms have risen. I think we need to jump across them to proceed.
I think danger awaits us after the stairs. I am very scared. I believe we'll encounter the one who caused the chaos in the main room. Wait, why did the gates close behind us and the lights go out? This is a very, very bad sign.
Don't worry, Anxiety. If something goes wrong and Tim struggles, I'll roast him on the biggest bonfire you've ever seen. Tim won't be left in trouble.
Ah! Someone very frightening is chasing us. It's definitely the one who caused the chaos in the main room. Just look at his walk. His legs are wobbling. It seems he was never taught to walk properly as a child and was bullied, which is why he became so angry.
Despite his awkward walk, he's very fast, but Tim has always been quicker than the rest. I believe he'll manage to escape this time too.
Tim, stop and hit him in the legs. I think that will make him fall, and you'll be able to run further away from him.
Tim, don't listen to him. If you stop, he'll definitely do something to you. Keep running as fast as you can.
Maybe he wants to be friends?
Of course not, Joy. Just look at him. If he wanted to be friends, he wouldn't be chasing us with such a scary face. Plus, he could have told us he wanted to be friends. Yuck. He's so disgusting.
These bars are not very reassuring. Look ahead. The mesh has fallen off completely.
Tim has managed to get past the bars, but listen carefully. There are some familiar sounds ahead.
Those are the sounds of the game Red Light, Green Light. I've seen it somewhere before, but I forgot the exact details. However, I remember the rules. You need to move when it's green light and stay still when it's red light. If you move during red light, something very bad will happen to you.
Tim is almost through this game, which means it's time for us to tell stories. Now, let's tell the story of how Tim went fishing for the first time. Once upon a time, Tim decided to go fishing for the first time. It was a bright, sunny day, perfect for an adventure. Tim had always been curious about fishing, so we, his inner voices, were excited to help him make the most of this experience. As Tim arrived at the lake, his eyes sparkled with anticipation. He set up his fishing rod with a sense of wonder, and I, Joy, couldn't help but cheer him on. "Look at him go!" I exclaimed. "He's doing great so far. This is going to be so much fun. Just imagine all the joy and excitement when he catches his first fish."
But as Tim prepared to cast his line, anxiety crept in. Oh no, what if he doesn't catch anything? What if the fish aren't biting? What if he gets bored or frustrated? What if something goes wrong with the fishing gear? I worried, watching Tim with concern. He might face some challenges, and I hope—
Anger, wasn't too pleased with the situation either. Why does fishing have to be so complicated? I grumbled. Why can't things just be easy? Why does Tim have to deal with tangled lines and slippery fish? It's so annoying when things don't go perfectly. But even though I was frustrated, I knew it was important to support Tim through the challenges. He has to learn to deal with these obstacles, I said, but it's definitely not fair that it's so difficult.
Disgusted by the messiness of fishing, I looked at the bait with distaste. Ugh, look at that slimy worm. Why does fishing have to involve such gross things? The smell and the texture are just awful, I complained. But Tim is trying his best despite the unpleasant aspects. We need to support him through this, even if it's really disgusting. Even though the fishing experience was quite disgusting, seeing Tim's happiness made it a bit more bearable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy. Maybe the next time won't be so gross. We just need to get through the icky parts to enjoy the success. In the end, it was a memorable day for Tim, filled with challenges and triumphs. And despite all our different feelings, we were all proud of how he handled his first fishing adventure.
I had to admit, seeing Tim catch the fish made me a bit less frustrated. All right, I guess he handled the complications well. Even though it was annoying at times, he managed to overcome the challenges. Maybe fishing isn't so bad after all.
Even though Tim succeeded, I still had some lingering worries. I hope he's careful with the fish and the equipment, and I hope he doesn't get too disheartened if things don't go as smoothly next time. But he did really well today, and that's what matters.
Despite the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim kept trying. And guess what? He finally felt a tug on his line. His face lit up with pure joy as he reeled in his very first fish. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. All our support and patience paid off. Tim has caught his first fish, and it's a moment he'll always remember with a big smile. Before we start the next story, I'd like to ask you to subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss Tim's new adventures.
The story will be about how Tim learned to make wooden crafts.
Once upon a time, Tim decided he wanted to learn how to make wooden crafts. It was an exciting new adventure for him, and I, Joy, was thrilled to be part of it. The day started with Tim eagerly gathering his materials: wood, tools, and paint. "Look at him go!" I cheered. "He's so enthusiastic and ready to create something amazing. This is going to be a fun and rewarding experience for him." Tim carefully followed the instructions for his first project: a small wooden birdhouse. As he measured, cut, and assembled the pieces, I couldn't help but feel delighted. He's doing such a great job. Just imagine how happy he'll be when he finishes his first craft. This is a fantastic way for him to express his creativity and skill.
But as Tim continued his project, anxiety began to worry. What if he makes a mistake with the measurements? What if the pieces don't fit together properly? What if he gets frustrated when things don't go as planned? I fretted, watching Tim with concern. There's so much that can go wrong with woodworking. I hope he stays patient and doesn't get too discouraged if things don't turn out perfectly.
Anger was getting frustrated with some of the challenges Tim faced. "Why does it have to be so complicated?" I grumbled. "The tools are difficult to handle, and the instructions are confusing. It's so annoying when things don't work out easily." Despite my frustration, I knew it was important to support Tim through these obstacles. "He has to learn to deal with these challenges," I said. "But it's definitely not fair that it's so hard."
Disgusted by the messiness of the project, I grimaced as Tim worked. Ugh, look at all the sawdust and the sticky glue. Why does woodworking have to be so messy and unpleasant? The smell of the paint and the texture of the wood are just gross, I complained. But even though it's really unpleasant, Tim is putting in a lot of effort. We need to support him through this, even if it's quite disgusting.
Despite the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim persevered. His dedication paid off as he completed his first wooden birdhouse. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. "He's finished his craft, and it looks fantastic." All our support and encouragement helped him get through the challenges. He's so proud of his work, and it's such a joy to see his hard work come to fruition.
Even though Tim succeeded, I still had some lingering concerns. I hope he's careful with the tools in the future and doesn't get discouraged by any mistakes he might make. Woodworking can be tricky, but he did really well today. I'm relieved he managed to finish his project successfully.
I had to admit, seeing Tim complete his birdhouse made me feel a bit less frustrated. All right, maybe it wasn't as easy as it seemed, and he handled the difficulties well. Even though it was annoying at times, he managed to overcome the challenges. Maybe woodworking isn't so bad after all.
Even though the woodworking project was quite messy and unpleasant, seeing Tim's satisfaction made it more tolerable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy with his work. Maybe the next project won't be so gross. We just need to get through the messy parts to enjoy the success. In the end, Tim's experience with woodworking was a memorable one, filled with challenges and achievements. Despite all our different feelings, we were all proud of how he learned and succeeded in his new craft.
And so the stories come to an end. Tim has defeated the main boss and is nearing the end of the level. I believe that thanks to Tim's hard work, he's breezing through these stages. If you put in a little effort, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, it will make Tim very happy. Goodbye, everyone.